Hey guys, it's Jess again. Today I've got my, what am I gonna call it? My whammies or my shammies to rhyme with jammies, which is my best of 2017. These are my worst of 2017. These are products that I've tried this year that I was really disappointed in for one reason or another. If you like this kind of a video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up and I hope you'll subscribe as well. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm out of breath already. We got trouble, my friends. First product, where to even begin? Let's start with the one that I think I was the most disappointed in. And this was still pretty recent to me, but I felt so strongly about it I wanted to mention it. This is the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. A lot of people love this primer. I don't get it. I can't get it to work. My skin looks terrible with this on, no matter what foundation. It could be my absolute favorite foundation ever that I'm putting on top of it. It looks terrible. I'm just flabbergasted. So, you know, it's a very, it's that very filling, like a pore filling smoothing primer. And you can even see, like when I'm putting on my hand, I mean, you can't see, it really does smooth the area. It's crazy. But I feel like no matter what I put on top of it, and I usually only use it in my nose region. I don't need it everywhere, you know, but definitely to fill in pores and smooth this area here. And sometimes I'll put it there, although I stopped putting it there because it made it look so much worse. But even still, like I typically have a very red nose. And so I can't, with this stuff on, I can't get the foundation to stay on it. It's weird. And I feel like I've tried it with so many foundations at this point that I'm like, forget it, I'm done. I'm waving the white flag, I surrender. I just don't think I like it. So it was a pretty penny and I think the packaging is pretty, and if you like this, that is so awesome. I really wish I did. I feel like I want to continue trying it. Maybe, I don't know. If you have any secrets to how you use this, let me know, because I do want to like this. I very recently bought it and I'm really sad that it's not working for me. Alrighty, next product. This is a drugstore one that was super disappointing. It's the Revlon Color Stay Eyeshadow Primer. This was newer at the drugstore this year. You take it off and it's just a squeezy tube. It comes out like it's kind of a nude colored. Guys, this does not do anything. It does not do anything. It just wipes away. It's very oily for an eyeshadow primer. I've never tried one that's as like oily as this is. Very odd. Doesn't hold on to shadow. It doesn't cancel anything out. It's just bad. Like, I don't know how this got through testing. Honestly, probably one of the most comically bad eyeshadow primers I've ever used, if not the most bad. That can't be the right grammar, but you guys know what I mean. It was bad. Just avoid. Frankly, I've not heard a lot about this. I wanted to try it because I hadn't heard a lot about it, but I think I see why I have not heard a lot about it. It was terrible. All right, this is one that so many people love. So I definitely have an unpopular opinion about this. These are the Milk Makeup lipsticks, or lip colors. They sent me every shade of their line and I was ready to love them and I did not. This is the shade Cream. I just feel like these are they're not creamy. Like, of course I'm like swatching a ton of it. I don't know how to get it across. Like that was one swatch. Let me see if I can just like do a swatch. I feel like, I don't know, like it's just not, it's not the kind of a lipstick formula I like. Maybe that's what it is. So if you like a kind of drier lipstick formula, I'm getting a makeup wipe out. It's not like crazy dry, but I just don't like it. Like I felt like I was like pulling on my lips to get the color to show up. And I have the blessing or curse of very pigmented natural lips. A blessing in that I think it can look nice, but like at other times I'm like, man, like I want this color to look the way it looks when I swatch it, and it doesn't because my lips are too pigmented. But for me, like I felt like I couldn't cover my own lips the right way with some of these. This is another shade I have called Wifey. Again, I just feel like it feels like a crayon. Like I'm just going back and forth with a Rose Art crayon. You know what I mean by Rose Art. Sorry, Rose Art. The Crayola is better, and we all know it. Anyway, have I ever told you guys the story about how I wrote a letter to Rose Art as a kid? I feel like I had to. I've told my students have I told my students this year the story about Rose Art? I feel like I have. Although we're teaching and writing persuasive next, maybe I'll tell it then. Anyway, so when I was a kid, my parents had bought Rose Art crayons and I'm using them and I'm like, oh, this is garbage. You know, I'm like 6 and I'm like, this is garbage. Like it's not nearly as smooth. It's really waxy, so it would skip parts when you're coloring, and I loved to color. I still do. And so I was complaining to my parents, and they were like, well, why don't you write a letter to him? And I'm like, I will. Maybe I wasn't 6. I was probably like 8 or 9. So I wrote a very well-written letter to Rosart requesting that they need to improve their formula and why and what I thought was bad about it. So they wrote me a letter back, and they sent me a brand new box of Rosart crayons. And on the crayon box, it said, new and improved formula. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I changed things. I did it. Now, to this day, of course, I don't know that I really did it. And also, I don't remember like using the crayons. Like, were they any better? I don't think they were. But it was still kind of cool. Like, it was just one of those cool life experiences as a kid. Wow. Sorry about that tangent. I didn't really like these Milk Makeup lip colors. All right. So, next product that I was like, ooh, was from Physicians Formula. This is their Killer Curves Mascara. I thought I would like it. Like, looking at the applicator, it looks like the Lash Paradise that I love. So I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so good. No. It ended up giving me like 4 eyelashes all clumped together, and then they like dried. And I'm like, oh. And so like literally I looked like a cartoon character with 4 eyelashes. It was terrible, terrible. I don't even want to use it again. Like, I used it that first time and I was like, oh my gosh. So I waited a few weeks, like maybe it just needs some time. Use it again, same thing. And I literally like with eye makeup remover just kind of removed it because I was like, it's so bad. So I'm like, I don't want to do this again. I don't want to waste another look, you know what I mean, and ruin another look with it. It was very bad. I did not like it at all. So not only did it not add volume, but it also didn't separate. It didn't add length. Like, it didn't do anything I want a mascara to do. Okay, the next product, oh my gosh. It's the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. Now, they do have like a complete concealing cream or something like that. I feel like it's got complete in the title that a lot of people love. I have not tried that. But this was their Under Eye Brightening Corrector. And I thought, oh my gosh, it'll be like really nice and like it'll really cancel out dark circles because it's got that nice apricot tone. This stuff is so emollient and creamy and moisturizing that I can't get it to stay in place, like at all. So if I put it on and blend it with my finger, it blends away. That's probably the best way to apply it, but even then. So I've tried it with a brush, no. Sponge, no. It just soaks it right on up. I can't get it to look good on my under eye. And it's a shame because, you know, like if you've got dry under eyes like me, I'm like, ooh, it's so moisturizing and brightening. But I can't get it to stay in place for the life of me, no matter what I do. And I'm like, please, I keep trying, and I'm like, please, I just want you to work. And I just can't get it to work. So it's really disheartening because I really think it appears gorgeous. I even like the packaging, but I can't get it to work. I'm so disappointed. Another is from Ulta Beauty. This is their HD Soft Focus Liquid Foundation. I know a couple YouTubers have liked this. It looked so bad on my dry skin. It looked so bad. Now this is a little too yellow to me. This is for me. This is light warm. It covered okay. It didn't cover everything, but it covered okay. But it just enhanced everything, any bad thing I had going on with my skin, it enhanced. And I just felt like throughout the day as I wore it, I was like, ugh, like every lighting I was in, I'm like, ooh, my skin just doesn't look good. Like, it just did not look good. And I've tried so many foundations that are the same price point, if not cheaper, that I absolutely love and that don't do that. So I'm like, I don't have time for this then. If this is around $10 to $15, I've got some that are $8, $9, $6 that are so much better. And if you are curious about which ones, I just did my best of the year for drugstore and high-end, like I was saying. And I have like 3 drugstore foundations that I absolutely swear by. So definitely check that out if you're like, okay, then what should I use? So those were all of the products that kind of stood out to me. This was hard to do because I've decluttered a lot that I didn't like over the year, you know, especially after we moved into our house in the summer. So I didn't want to bring over a ton of makeup that I didn't like. I didn't want to move that stuff. So I feel like I'd gotten rid of a lot of the things that I didn't like. So a lot of these I feel like are a little more recent, but some of them I've had for a while and I've just been disappointed for a while as well. So if you enjoyed this kind of a video, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.